People who have said no to the barber when they asked if their haircut looked good. What's your story? When I was a young teen, 15 or 16, I had hair down to my belly button. I wanted it cut to my collarbone because my hair is thick and hard to take care of. My normal hairdresser was delayed into our appointment due to one of the dyeing hair things breaking and the other being taken, so I was paired with a different one. This girl couldn't do an even cut. She kept trying. So she kept cutting so one side would be 3+ inches longer than the other. I watched in the mirror in horror, speechless. She eventually sees my face and goes to get my normal hairdresser. My normal hairdresser just gives me a sad look and says she has to even me out and that she was sorry. She had to cut it to my ears. She didn't ask if I like it. She just said I didn't have to pay. My eyes were watering by that point. It was horrible. Never went back. I had a really uneven trim with a couple of bald patches in it once. So I just asked the barber to shave my head completely and I'd start over from zero. He tried to charge me for both haircuts, but I refused to double dip. Lol. I fucked up so bad I'm just going to buzz your whole head, but I want you to pay double for the privilege. My hairdresser and I had a pretty good relationship, and I had short hair that I wasn't emotional about, so she asked if she could just go wild and surprise me. When I saw the result, I'd ended up with a weird uneven pixie cut. I told her that it was very cool, but would be too difficult to maintain every day, so could she please cut it down to a regular hairstyle. She redid the cut uncomplainingly, and I walked out happy. My hairdresser is like this. He wants to just try things, but he always asks how I usually wear my hair. I tell him it's always straight, and I use a straightener, so as long as I can do that, he can have fun. I have tried hairstyles I normally wouldn't for myself, but usually it looks pretty decent. I wanted a buzz cut. She was not willing to cut off that much hair, assuming I'd be upset and get angry. 7 times she trimmed off 1 millimeter and asked me if it was okay. I went out, bought myself a pair of clippers, had a buzzed head in about 12 minutes, and have not been back to barber since. How about now? No. How about now? No. How about now? No. I get my hair cut one day at a school. I get a pretty basic haircut, 1.5 inches on top, shorter on the sides, off the ears. There is a reason I get it cut at 1.5 inches on top, much longer than that it does a weird Bozo the Clown thing, much shorter than that it just stands straight up. He cut it 1 inch all over my head. I looked like a chia pet. I was once asked by a new barber at my regular hair place if they use the clippers on me. I said yes, on the sides. Next thing I know, BZZZZZZZZZZZZ, straight up the middle of my head. She then asks before going on, "How's that?" I respond, "Wow, that's really short." She asks, "Is it too short the fuck lady?" Worst part was that there was another barber lady hairdresser barberette working on another customer's hair, and you could tell she was keeping an eye on this new girl. She was able to do the other customer's hair without even watching. You know how salons always have a ton of mirrors. She was watching this girl cut my hair, on and off, in the mirror while working on her own customer. Next time I went in, she cut my hair for free. The new girl didn't work there anymore. I asked for a skin fade that tapers into what I have on top. She went down to skin all the way up. Told her this isn't what I asked for. She got snarky and said I needed to be clearer next time. I paid the bill after she shortened the top to better match the now bald sides of my head. I may not know all the names for barber equipment, but I've been getting this haircut for years and literally everyone but I was able to produce what I requested. If a stylist messes and gets offended that you point it out, don't tip and make it a point you won't let them do your hair again. 16 years old and just about to get my DL. Go to the salon to get my hair cut nice for the picture. Instead of feathering my hair, I know I'm dating myself here, the stylist gives me a spiky buzz cut on top. I was so upset I just sat in her chair and cried. Way too short to fix. It was truly awful. Stylist gets offended and starts giving all these excuses. I just paid and left hiding my hair the best I could. For the next couple months I wore a lot of hats. In my current DL pic I was allowed to wear a headband. When I sat down to take the photo the girl running it was like, no. Can't have anything on your head, so I was like, okay, fine with me, and took it off. Without it, it's just a mop. No face, nothing. On second thought, put it back on. Reminds me of when my grandma's hairdresser cut my hair the day before 8th grade picture day. I asked her for a bob and showed her a picture of Victoria Beckham. It was like 2003 when that style was super popular. She gave me a bowl cut with a ragtail. I cried the whole way home and cut my own hair for the next 6 years because I didn't trust hairstylists anymore. When I was a kid, my mom would always take me to the same place to get my hair cut, and I would always end up crying because that lady clearly had no idea what she was doing. I didn't even hold it in until I left the place. I would just tell her that I hated the look and start crying. My mom kept taking me there thinking I was just a stupid kid that would never be happy with their haircut. She was wrong. Now that I've changed several hairdressers, I've been going to the same one for a few years and I really adore her. The day you finally find a barber hairdresser who cuts your hair exactly as you want, that is a good day indeed. She shaved my sideburns up to about 1.5 inches above my ear. I didn't say anything, just sat there looking pissed. She goes, "It'll look good if you put some gel in it." I went up front to pay, thought about not paying, paid anyway. 4 people got up and left behind me who were waiting. Never again, Mr. Kurtz. Never again. Edit. I had to wear a beanie for a month during a hot summer in GA until they grew back. A baseball cap wouldn't cut it. My boss was against me wearing a beanie at work initially until I took it off. My uncle told me to get a haircut at Great Cuts. Absolutely not. I am terrified of leaving my usual barber. Like when they inevitably die, it's Jesus time. I had a person at Mr. Kurtz give me white walls around my ears. Like, I asked her to keep it tight, and I got a solid inch clear cut all the way around my ears. I looked like Turbo Gump. That was the cut that made me find a barber and keep him. Got stabbed in the scalp with the scissors. It got stuck there and I had to go to hospital to have it surgically removed. Didn't hit anything, thank the gods. I just image you looking in the mirror with bloody scissors sticking out of your head and calmly saying, "No. No, this isn't good." I didn't say anything cause all my hair was gone. Asked for a 5 all over. She thought I said 0. Yeah, 5 and 0 are close. I can see the confusion. I'm someone who hates bangs. They don't look nice on me and they annoyingly tickle my forehead. Every time I meet my barber she keeps insisting on giving me bangs and I always say no, and it clearly pisses her off until one time she accidentally cut a chunk of my front hair and would have to give me bangs to make it look good now. I knew she did it in purpose cause she was playing with my front hair for a bit before suddenly making the cut. That was the last time I went to her. Thankfully my current barber agrees with me that bangs aren't my style. My hairdresser also insisted on giving me a style that I didn't want. Surely paying customers should have the final say on what hairstyle they prefer. One of mine did too. I was getting balayage and wanted a warm toned blonde in the end. They thought I should get an ashy toner. I said no. Guess what ended up in my hair? I was very upset. It did look okay, but it wasn't what I wanted, and it would have looked nicer if she had listened to me. And the worst part was I spent a good 10 minutes on the phone to the masking after their senior colorist because I had a specific idea in mind. When I got to the salon she was sick. Funny how she could do another woman's hair behind me though, and looked fine. Made me so confused. I was super nice on the phone so I don't know what the fuck happened. It wasn't a haircut but a blowout. A simple blowout. I was on an anniversary vacation, and I wanted to treat myself to a blowout. It was $25. We were staying in an ice inn, and I called the recommended salon and booked an appointment. This is a very small town in a place far, far away. The brand new girl was doing it, and she had no idea how to do a blowout. I have had them before, and she was clueless. I debated what to say and when she turned me around she asked me if I liked it and said no. She called the manager over, might have been owner, and the owner started to argue with me that stylists have their own style to do blowouts. The manager redid my blowout in one stroke 3 of the time, and she did it right. The new girl checked me out, and I told her that it was the manager's duty to train her, and the manager was at fault. I asked her not to feel bad, but to demand to be trained so that she could become as great as she wanted to be. I paid the bill of $25 and tipped the new girl $15. That poor new girl was not equipped, and was not being supported. I hope she continued, and asked for her training.